All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Black Girl Nerds Dragons Y'all Recap Podcast live. We are doing this live for one reason and one reason only. We weren't able to get the episode early. So
HBO was like, nope.
Yeah, HBO was like, no dice, even though some people did get the episode early because apparently it got leaked online. But we did not get to see it early. So we watched it just like everybody else during the broadcast tonight. And we're here live to speak with all of you to talk about it. And then we're going to go ahead and obviously have this show available for the audio format if you guys have that preference later on during the week. But for now, you get to engage with us and talk with us. And if you have any questions or concerns and you just kind of want to go off on how you felt about tonight's episode, I know I've got feelings. Feel free to leave your comments. We're currently live streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So let me go ahead and do, the admin thing here. You can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Black Girl Nerds. We're new to Twitch. I'm still figuring out that whole ecosystem, so bear with us as we develop in that on that platform. And then, of course, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/FlixGirl. Yes, there's a long story behind that.
What happened with that, Jamie?
Because if you go to Black Girl Nerds, it will be an account that has like some dummy account with Black Girl Nerds, but that is our YouTube page. So trust me, even though it says Flix Girl, it'll take you to Black Girl Nerds. So you can subscribe there, hit the notification button, and that's where you'll see all of our content. So cool. And then, of course, I have our moderator, Angelica, and our host, Ryan, here. So thank you, ladies, so much for staying up late. And, Ryan for staying up late, because Angelica...
Ryan.
I know, that day job. But, I'm here. You got to talk about House of Dragon. It's the season finale, so I'm ready.
Yeah. And I see you got your
shirt, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, check out mine.
Hey, I love it. Hey.
I'm the only one that's not dressed up. Oh God.
We had to get festive.
Gotta get festive.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, cool. I'm ready to dive right into this. I know we don't have like our formal outline that Angelica usually prepares for the podcast, but still we'll go right through it. And guys, please, if you have comments, definitely let us know. We will show your comments up here on StreamYard, and let us know what you think about the episode. So starting right out, this episode, what did you guys think? It starts off with let's see here, with, I guess, who is it? Luke. He's a little
Luke is in front of the painted table. And insecure about being the Lord of Tides, because his grandsire, who he said is the greatest, I love how he said, my grandsire, the greatest sailor ever to be on the ship. I don't deserve that. I can't live up to that. He said he gets seasick just from stepping on a boat. So how is he going to be the Lord of Tides? So that was a sweet moment. And Rhaenyra, got you, baby boy. You have time. Dun dun dun. So I love that opening, and I love seeing the painted table, because we usually see it like, I guess, in the war room, but it's like a bigger room. So that was interesting.
What did you think, Ryan?
Oh, I love Rhaenyra as a mom in that opening scene. I thought that was basically this whole episode. I loved her and her sons. I just love seeing that. just how nurturing she is, and she was trying to prepare him, but this world just ain't ready for her mama, her and her sons. Like the way you have to step up in this world it was very unique how they played this out. But yeah, that opening was fantastic.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I was gonna say real quick, my little two piece. Rhaenyra is a really good foil for Alicent as far as parenting. Like we see how Alicent's a little bit more cold towards her children. You know, she called Aegon an imbecile the last episode, and here she is, Rhaenyra loving up on her younger son. So I wanted to point that out, but hand it back to you, Jamie.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm having some tech issues trying to bring up looks like somebody wants to leave a comment, and I'm having some tech issues. So sorry. You gotta love technology. Are you guys able to bring up?
Let's see if I can do this. Does it work? Can you see it?
There we go.
I see it. What's up, Black Dad Panther?
What is up? And then I wanted to bring up. Can you bring up the image of Jace? Are you able to bring that up?
I'm trying to see which one that one is. Oh, on my side, the images. Let's see here. I don't see the images on my side. I see the comments.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that was great. Just seeing that in the opening scene, and yeah, you're right. As far as just that dichotomy between Alicent and Rhaenyra. So, what did you think? The following scene after that, and I got to pull up my notes to remember, because it's kind of weird not being prepped for the episodes, and then you're live tweeting it, and then you're watching it. But I think one of the other standout moments for me in the episode was when Rhaenys announces to Rhaenyra and Daemon about Viserys' death. And one thing that stuck out to me was when Daemon was like, well, how did he die? Did anybody find that to be a weird moment? I know it's not weird to ask about how somebody died, but I just thought that was very interesting that Daemon was so concerned about that. What was your thoughts?
I think it's a reasonable question to ask, because remember last episode, Lord Beesbury also questioned, how did Viserys die? He doubted that Viserys died from natural causes. And remember from 2 episodes before, then Daemon wasn't too happy about the way that the Maesters were giving Viserys so much milk of the poppy. So in his mind, he's like, my brother didn't die naturally. Something had to go down. How did he die?
Right. That's okay. And that was something that I didn't catch on to, was like, if there was some sort of nefarious intent. I was just thinking, well, why would he ask that? Because he sort of saw that Viserys his health was slowly declining, and that he was kind of on his deathbed. So that's why I was like, why would you ask that? But now that you bring that up, okay, he asked that because he thought that maybe Alicent poisoned him, which I kind of brought that up in our episode.
You did. Episode.
Yeah, I was like, she's trying to kill him. So shout out to Young Deuces, by the way, who is a friend of the show. He says, I'm glad y'all are doing this because I need someone to talk about this too and hear some hot takes. Nova Red Soul says same, because woo child. And Emmanuel Briggs says, hello, ladies in chat. Thanks, guys, for joining us on the live show. So, Ryan, what did you think about Daemon's concerns over his brother's death?
Oh, Daemon was hot. Like he was ready. Like as soon as she gave the message, I could already see them wheels turning. What he wanted to do, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily foul play, but Daemon can smell a snake. Like he knows something's going down. So I was already ready for him to just pop off the rest of the episode after he figured out his brother was gone and what that means for the kingdom. So I was ready for the heat that he brought.
Yeah. I was ready for it too.
He had plans.
I do see
out.
Screenshots, but I might accidentally, by the way. Oh, sorry, Angelica. I do see the screenshots, but I might accidentally click on it like I just did before. So if you can hang one, I might be able to print it up.
Oh yeah, that's for later in the episode. But I, like you said, we live tweeted during this happening. So I love how Rhaenys was like, Rhaenyra, you in danger, girl. They coming for you and your babies. We're not playing no games.
We are not. We are absolutely not. So what was another moment that stuck out to you? Like, I'm looking again at my notes.
Damon was pissed off when he found out that Rhaenys didn't light up them greens when she escaped with Meleys. He was like,
yeah,
why are you here?
And I mean, we was heated about that in our last episode. Like, what? Rhaenys, you could have just solved the whole thing. You had one job. Yeah. I mean, of course, Dance of the Dragons wouldn't happen, but still, like, you could have.
I'm good with one season. There's so much in Fire and Blood. There's like 300 years worth of history.
The fandom would be so heated. Oh gosh, people would be mad. People would be so heated. But yeah, Damon was in his feelings about that. What did you think, Ryan?
Oh, I think she should have lit them up last episode. Like, I think they should have been gone. I'm with it. Like, I'm tired of looking at them. I was like, no, light them up, Raze. But she's that person though. She's not gonna give all her cards out. She's gonna wait. She has that peaceful quality about her. But yeah, I was ready. I was just like, take them out because I don't need season 2. Just go ahead and take them out. Because when she lit up from the ground, I was like, let's go. But I appreciate you, Ray. She tried to keep a little peace. We'll take a little peace then, I guess.
Yeah.
Brandy says, yes, this princess was a real one for that heads up. Michelle Morrow says there's a lot to process from this finale. Yeah, we're gonna dig into a lot of what we thought about this finale. And Damon was like, yeah, you could have finished it all. Also, by the way,
Michelle.
Rhaenys trying to take this high moral ground by not finishing off the greens, yet she killed like a whole bunch of innocent people.
We don't care about the small folk. We don't care about them.
Like, all of these common folk just got like piled on and annihilated with melees, but the greens, let's go ahead and save them. So yeah.
I remember I got heat from the season finale of Game of Thrones when I was like, yes, Daenerys, burn them all. So it's like, I don't really care for the small folk. I mean, that's just
hey, the small folk play a role though. They really do. You
they do. At the end of this war, they will do something.
Yeah. Ebria says, I'm with Damon. She could have burned their asses up. So we all agree with Damon in that capacity. So then what happens next? Damon, go ahead. You're the moderator, so you're
I was gonna say, I got my mind, I had to have my mental outline. So she learns her father's dead. She learns that Aegon has now been crowned prince in front of thousands of people. So, and we know that Rhaenyra is pregnant. So obviously this is a lot of information she's taken in. So naturally she goes into labor. And while Rhaenyra has had 5 children before this was not an easy pregnancy for her. So once again, House of the Dragon really driving home how terrifying and dangerous childbirth can be.
Yeah, that was sad, seeing that Rhaenyra, basically had a stillborn birth. And to me, I also think that was a metaphor of like foreshadowing of things to come. Like, this baby is stillborn, a death is, symbolic of what is going to be happening with her future, the future of the realm. So that was a sad moment. Even though Rhaenyra has had 5 pregnancies that were very successful, it was sad to see that moment with her birth there.
Yeah, very graphic.
Yeah. I'm like, do we need the sounds? Do we need to hear the squishing?
And Rhaenyra is a G because she didn't have no midwives. She was like, I got this. She pushed that baby out. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ryan. Have your moment. Have your
No, I was gonna clap it up for you because that's what I was thinking. That was a G moment. She was holding on to the bed. They kept saying, "Let me help you," and she was like, "No," because she already knew, and she was just like, "Just come out, just get out." And I don't know how she did it. I don't know how any of these women did it like back in the day. Well, today and just like especially back in the day, because they just did not. It just did not matter. And it's just like every time you see a woman pregnant on this series, I'm just like the whole scene, the whole episode is insane.
Yeah, that was a lot. And then while she's having the baby, the scenes are intercut with Jace and Damon. So, Jace went to his mom when she was in the bed. She told him, like, don't do nothing while I'm abed. Don't make no decisions while I'm abed. And so Damon's like, I'm not trying to hear that. Come on, Jace, let me school you. So he takes Jace outside. There's 2 Kingsguard there. I did not catch their names because, of course, I didn't have time to prep for this. And he asked, Damon asked them, who's the true heir? And they say Rhaenyra. So he's like, okay, well, I need for you to repledge your allegiance to Rhaenyra. If you decide to go with Aegon, you're going to die, but you'll die swiftly. If you decide to join our cause and betray us later down the line, guess what? You're going to die in a lot of pain. And if we recall from Daenerys, in Game of Thrones, you know how she handled people that betrayed her. They got set on fire. So Damon was teaching Jace a lesson in loyalty there.
Here we go.
Oh, Luke. I'm sorry. I can't. It's too soon. I can't see Luke right now.
We'll get into Luke a little bit later. I also wanted to point out with Rhaenyra's crown that I find it very interesting, and again, some symbolism to talk about here is the crown of peace that she's wearing, because this is the same crown that Viserys wore and that also Jaehaerys wore. Jaehaerys also being known as a king that
a peaceful king.
Yeah, that reigned during a very peaceful period. So I find that to be quite interesting. What do you think of the symbolism there with her wearing her father's crown and it being a peaceful crown?
Yeah. Well, Sir Eric ended up switching sides, so he landed on the Dragonstone, and he in addition to breaking Rhaenys out of her chambers, he also must have stolen Viserys's crown to bring it to Rhaenyra. So shout out to Eric for realizing like where the right people are, the right team Black. But yeah, I thought it was, if you think about it, so Rhaenyra's wearing her father Viserys the Peaceful's crown, and Aegon's wearing Aegon the Conqueror's crown. So that kind of shows you, crown of war. So that shows you, what each side is trying to be on.
Right.
Yeah, I love the opposition. I can't wait. Like, it's peace versus war. It's like, can peace take it even further? I just love the symbolism between the two of them, and that shot of her with the crown is beautiful. I love that. I waited for that moment. I thought that was gonna be a season 2 sort of thing, where maybe she's gonna work up to it and get there. That moment was so just perfect, the way it happened, and him coming and saying, "Look, no matter what, I'm riding with you. I had to walk away. I know what's right here, what's not right." So, and that's when I thought she was gonna tear it up, but it was some more in the episode.
And I also say I thought it was interesting she was crowned at her son's funeral, which that scene was a callback to me from the first episode, from the death of her younger brother, Balon, and her mother. So I thought I was going to see a dragon set, a little fetus on fire, but that didn't happen. Although I was heavily distracted by Rhaena and Baela during this scene too. And I was upset that Baela didn't have no lines this episode, and Rhaena had one line, "Wine, my queen," and I was like, really?
Yeah. And someone pointed out on Twitter that Damon still doesn't talk to his daughters, which that is kind of why is there still not that relationship? Because we remember the episode, what was it, a few episodes back, where he was teaching them Valyrian, but what's going on? Why don't we have that interaction with his daughters? I don't know. I guess he's got a lot on his mind with everything that's happening, but still we just don't really see that.
I feel like maybe we'll see it more next not next episode, next season. Because like basically Bela really didn't have any lines this episode, so we couldn't even see them interact with Daemon.
Yeah. Speaking of the Velaryons, good to see this guy waking up.
Corlys is good.
That's a good side.
Yeah. Fever broke. Yay. So glad that he's alive and well, and he chose the right side, of course. So I'm glad that he's doing well. He looked like like when he was in bed, you definitely saw that he looked fatigued and tired. But then when he was back out there and strategizing and stuff, I was like, dang, he looked good. Yeah. His hair looked good, everything.
Locks twisted up. Yeah. I appreciate his locks twisted up nice, had a new, fresh retwist. But I appreciate that they didn't immediately go to Rhaenyra's side. I appreciate that they kind of weighed both sides. And it wasn't just like, let's jump on Rhaenyra's wagon, because if we think about it, Rhaenyra has caused them a lot of pain. Like, right. They as far as they're concerned, she's responsible for the death of Laenor. All these horrible things have happened every time they side with her. But at the end of the day, she was named the true heirs, and their grandsons and their granddaughters have allegiance to them or to Rhaenyra. So it makes sense for them to join the cause. But yeah, I was happy to see Corlys is alive and well. Luke will not be the Lord of Tides for more reasons than one. But yeah, I was happy to see Corlys back and kicking.
And I like Ryan. I like the moment that he had with Rhaenyra where he reminded her, hey, you could be peaceful, but when it's time to go, get ready to go. When it's time to jump, like you could be peaceful like your father did, but you're gonna have to defend this kingdom too, and it could be some more. So I like that line he dropped down.
Yeah. And I love the fact that now Rhaenyra is at the head of her own council. So this is considered the Black Council. She has all her advisors. Jamie, you're back. She has all her advisors, her team behind her. Team Black is behind her. So I appreciated that. She got her sons involved. She got her, their betrothed fiancés, whatever you want to call it, involved. Everybody's there to support Rhaenyra, and she's taking charge. Now Daemon was like war, but Rhaenyra is like, no, we got to take a step back. We can't land the first punch. We got to observe. We got to find out who our allies are. So I like that she's taking a thoughtful approach to this reclamation. I don't know the word, but she's taking a thoughtful approach to ruling. Reclaiming her time, reclaiming that throne.
Reclaiming her time, yes. I just want to read a couple of comments going back. Akua says, good point, no dialogue with Daemon's daughters at all. Yeah. Brandy says, Daemon doesn't even have trauma bond with those girls. Good point. Trauma bond, yeah. Michelle says, Corlys came through. Yeah. Corlys is ride or die right now.
Yes, glad. Oh, and I was gonna say during the meeting of the Black Council, Daemon had brought up the fact that they need more dragons. So I got super excited because I was like, "Ooh, dragon seeds!" And I guess we'll talk about it at the end.
We'll talk about that more. Yeah,
I was excited about that one.
Wait, do you still have the dragon that you're raising? It was like some kind of app or something you were on?
Yes, I have my blue dragon, Destenia. She is almost an adult. She's still a juvenile. She loves raw beef, and she likes to fly in the evenings.
Nice, love it. I love it.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, what's the name of the app for those that may not know what you're talking about?
So it's called Dracarys, and the A and R in Dracarys are like capitalized. So like an AR experience.
Cool.
Raise your own dragon.
Yeah, you can raise your own dragon through the app. People have been telling me about that app. I mean, you told me about the app, but then other people have been telling me about the app too. When I talk about House of the Dragons on social media, I'm like, I still haven't gotten on the app yet, so
it's like a House of the Dragon Hatchimal. So you do have to check in every day with your dragon. So if you're not committed to taking care of an animal, don't do it.
Oh man, I'm out then.
Oh. Abria says, I get that she wants to rule peacefully, but there's no peace with Otto Hightower. He gots to go. Agreed. I mean, this was dead last week, so I'm like, yeah, he definitely got to go. Brandy says they're definitely giving us great dragon scenes. They stepped it up with the dragons tonight. I really appreciate the dragon love that we got during this episode. Young Deuces says, oh my lord, he's got to go. Only Hightower we acknowledge is Steve.
All right, Steve Hightower.
Steve Hightower.
That was a good one, Young Deuces.
And Brandy, LOL. Okay, I love that. Someone also on Twitter said the only Targaryen we recognize, and they had a picture of Jon Snow up there. So.
Oh, what about people saying that Cisco is the last living Targaryen?
That was hilarious that you put that tweet out on the Black Girl Nerds Twitter. That was hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I was cackling when I saw that tweet, that original post. I was like, I gotta share this. Unleash the dragon.
Targaryen is Cisco, but nobody wants to talk about that though.
He's like, y'all not ready for this conversation.
Y'all not ready for that conversation.
Oh gosh.
Man. People are
hilarious. Black Twitter rules. So the next scene, speaking of callbacks, the next scene that we see is Otto Hightower deciding to pay a visit to Dragonstone. So just like in episode 2 of House of the Dragon, we see Otto and Daemon facing on the steps of Dragonstone. And just like that second episode, Rhaenyra comes swooping in on Syrax, but this time she's Queen Rhaenyra and she's on Daemon's side. So I appreciated that callback. That was a great scene.
And anytime you drop a dragon behind Otto, thank you, Jesus. I just wanted to light him up. I'm tired of seeing Otto. I'm ready for him to go.
I just wish that Daemon knew what Otto's intentions were of Rhaenyra, because we know that he would be gone. Daemon would have taken him out. So, like, if Daemon had any idea that Otto wanted Rhaenyra dead, like, yeah, Otto
off with their head.
Yeah,
off with their head. Oh, and we forgot to mention this. When Corlys is on his, not his deathbed, but his sick bed, and Rhaenys is nursing him back to health, and she tells him that Vaemon's dead and that Daemon did it. And he was just like, oh, not my brother. So another reason why it's like, wow, Corlys is a really, good guy for joining Rhaenyra after finding out what happened to his own brother. So this is a complicated family, to say the least.
Very complicated. So Otto's gonna stay in the middle of some stuff, messy queen that he is. Indeed. Michelle says, when Rhaenyra snatched Otto's pen, I hollered. Yes. MK Malika, I'm still up. It's nearly 4 a.m. here. So glad you all went live tonight. Much love from over here. Thanks for staying up with us.
Oh, shout out to you. And also, Otto gave Rhaenyra a message from Alicent. And if you guys remember, it was a page from the book they read when they were teenagers. So Alicent's trying to play on Rhaenyra's heartstring, and she read that thing like Daemon read the message from Viserys a couple episodes ago. But you could tell it got to her a little bit because she shed a little tear, because after all, that was her best friend. But you're not about to play with my emotions and crown your son in place of me. That's not happening.
Right.
Yeah, toss that message over the edge. That's what I thought.
What did you think, Brian?
Toss that message right over the edge. They were standing on the bridge. Just toss it right over there.
So what happened next after that? What was the next thing that
this is so hard to do on the fly. I'm like going through our tweets.
You got it. Going down, you got it.
Oh, so they're still, they're still meeting. They had another Black Council meeting, and they need to go out to their different allies. And you need to go to the, House Stark, Kraken Stark in the north, Storm's End in the south. Also, I think they have a cousin, I believe it's Elaine Aaron, I could be wrong, or Lane Aaron in the Vale. So they need to get their allies together and kind of see if they're really going to team up with Team Black. And of course, she was going to send Daemon, but Jace just had to raise his hand and was like, "Send us." Another callback to when Rhaenyra wanted.
Really like, I actually kind of like how, sort of studious and just how valiant he is towards wanting to protect his mom. So I do appreciate that about Jace. I
appreciate it, but I don't like how it ended. He could have kept his mouth shut.
He should have said, "Just send me, just send me." Just like my baby brother, not my baby brother.
Why Luke had to be involved? Luke is like, 15 years old. I didn't appreciate that.
I know.
But yes, Luke is like, "Send us," just like Rhaenyra had said in the second episode when she needed to confront Daemon. She was like, "Send me, Dad," but she snuck out. But Rhaenyra gave her boys permission. I don't think Luke was ready for this. Luke wasn't trying to have it, but
Luke
of course
wasn't even ready to be Lord of the Tides. He can't even command rather than command the air with dragons. Like, why did he agree to this? That was what was weird to me.
Because he loved his mama, but he a baby as far as I'm concerned. He could have stayed home. So she decides to send Jace up north to treat with Cregan Stark, who's around Jace's age, and then she sends Luke south to Storm's End, which is supposedly close to Dragonstone, and then she tells them, "Don't fight. You're emissaries. Don't fight. Swear it." And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. And then she tells Luke, "Oh, Luke, you're going to have a great, welcome at Storm's End. Don't worry." And I was just like, I'll just leave it at that. I'll let you guys throw in your 2 cents about that.
No, I mean, I'm actually surprised Rhaenyra co-signed on that. Like, why would you agree to doing this? And then to think that there wasn't going to be any beef between these guys and there weren't going to be any sort of fighting or shenanigans that was going to ensue as a result of her sending them out there. Like, girl, what was he really thinking? But maybe, I don't know, maybe she's just got a lot on her mind. I mean, she just she just had a stillborn baby, so she's probably not really in the right frame of mind right now to think logically, And then she's just, she's probably really stressed out. I don't know. I mean, it's a bonehead decision, but sometimes when we're under duress and stress, we make really stupid decisions. So, what do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I think she was trying to give him a chance, but that no fight thing, no way. And I know if Jace has a moment, he's going in. If he gets a moment, even though he put his hand and said the pledge, I know he's going in if he gets a chance. But yeah, the no fight thing. But poor Luke. He was trying so hard for his mama. He just wanted to get after for his mama, but they don't let you live in House of the Dragons. They don't let you live.
They don't let you live. Ms. True Kelly says the power struggle between Daemon and Rhaenyra was great. I love Princess Rey smirk seeing the queen show her power. Agreed. Bria Angel ready to see some Cregan Stark, Hour of the Wolf. All right now. Michelle, poor Luke always looked like a deer in headlights.
Poor baby.
Poor baby. Did y'all talk about Queen realizing Daemon didn't know about Song of Ice and Fire?
Oh yeah. Because Daemon tried to question her in front of her Black Council. So she was like, "Clear the room. Let me talk to my husband." Then he had the audacity to try to choke her up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're being violent now. Okay. And then, that's when I guess they had that back and forth and she realized that he did not know about the Song of Ice and Fire, which makes sense because I don't think Viserys ever trusted Daemon to be his heir.
Right. That's interesting though that, it does make sense, but it's still interesting that he never knew about that.
Yeah.
It's still interesting that it's kept from him, but yeah. I mean, that they always had that contentious relationship. So
absolutely.
I felt some type of way when he did that chokehold on Rhaenyra. I was like, really, dude? Are we really doing this?
under the right circumstances, that choke would be fine, but not in this moment. Not in this moment.
You said under the right circumstances.
Under the right circumstances, I'd be okay.
Circumstances that would warrant a chokehold to your wife. I don't.
Just think. Ryan gets it. You know,
I don't know. What Rhaenyra would have said or done that would warrant that. I mean, Daemon is a loose cannon. We know that. So
I'm just saying, I don't mind a choking here.
He better not do that again. And Brandy,
see, Brandy know what I'm talking about.
Listen. On that note, because I need. This is the perfect time for me to drop out because Angelica. Girl, I love it. I just love it. I wasn't expecting it, but I love it. But real quick though, no, listen, don't apologize because we know. But listen, David, get it together. Do not put your hands on Rhaenyra anymore. I don't want to see this season 2. Get it together.
No. Yeah,
we was rooting, but you stepping out like the swag is looking a little less. Don't put your hands on Rhaenyra. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, come on.
People weren't feeling that on Twitter. People were not feeling that. I was like, come on now, bro. But anyway, listen, it's been dope. I gotta go. Because I got to pay some bills. It's the job. I know. I want to stay out and keep talking. You know, I want to keep talking to the House of Dragons. But y'all keep the comments coming in because these 2 ladies right here don't play. I mean, they raising dragons. You know, they checking it out right here. Jamie popping up the photo. So you guys keep, chatting with them and checking it up. Thank you, ladies. It's been fun.
All right.
Bye, Ryan. Good night.
Bye.
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 Dang, Ryan and her day job.
Yeah, Ryan really super early. She works in news, so those morning news shows start at like 3-4 in the morning or something. So she's got to get up super early for her job. But yeah, so that was weird. So then after that scene, I think we were talking about too with Jace, Luke going over to see
a Baratheon.
The Baratheon guy, which
Boros.
So apparently the guy can't read. He is.
Oh, he was like, call the maester.
Yeah, he apparently he needs hooked on phonics or something. So we discovered that.
He can't read good.
They said. He can't read good. So that was something that was an interesting revelation. Go ahead, Angela.
I didn't appreciate. So Ryan had mentioned, or someone had tweeted, these 2 little scraggly dragons flying away from Dragonstone, and we see Luke land on his little tiny dragon from How to Train Your Dragon, and then there's huge Vhagar. She can't even park inside of Storm's End. She has to be outside. I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good at all. I was like this watching. I mean, I was tweeting, but I was like this, knowing what was about to happen.
That's how I was. I had the gif of Kermit the Frog where he does like this because I'm like, I know what's going to happen, but I'm still scared.
They could change it. I don't know. I was hoping because Luke is like my baby. He's so cute and innocent, and Aemon's just not over this beef. He's just not over it. He was like, look what you did to my eye.
Which, by the way, we finally, because I mentioned that in one of our previous podcast episodes, I was like, are they going to show his eye at any point where we see the blue sapphire? Mm-hmm. And yeah, they finally revealed the blue sapphire, which I think I kind of have. Well, I don't have a picture of it, but I have him about to reveal. I was able to get that screenshot because that's in the trailer.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, we got that. But I was like, okay, he showed the blue sapphire. Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. Good. Yeah, it's a cool scene. I've seen there's this girl, I think she's like a TikToker. She has a prosthetic eye and sometimes she'll switch it out, and she has like a sparkly one too. It's not a sapphire, it's just like silver, but it looks pretty cool. The only thing I was concerned about it because I believe in the book, like he doesn't even wear an eye patch if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he lets it hang out. Right. So I was concerned with the show that they just didn't want to show the blue sapphire for whatever reason. Maybe they thought it wouldn't look right aesthetically, on camera.
Yeah.
So I was like, are they ever going to show that? So the fact that they actually have him wearing it just underneath the eye patch, I thought that was pretty compelling. So that was good.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But that scene at Storm's End, man, I mean, he did not get a good welcome. Boros was not pleased. He was like, you just want me to do what your mama tells me to do. You come here empty-handed. Are you gonna marry any of my daughters? And of course, Luke is like, I can't. I'm already engaged. And he's just like, okay, so what you here for? So right. I felt so bad because he's like I said, he's just a baby, and Aemon's there side-eyeing him and trying to fight him with one eye, side-eyeing him with one eye and trying to fight him and take out his eye. And Luke was like, look, I am not here to fight. I am just here to deliver a message. And even Boros backs him up on that. He's like, he's an envoy. You're not about to do this here. So he sends Luke away on his dragon, and it's a stormy night in Storm's End. And I just felt so bad for this scene because you could tell that Luke is a little nervous. He's scared. He's ordering RX to obey him. Like, focus. We got to get through this. We got to get home. Yeah. So he takes off on his little tiny dragon, and of course Vhagar shows up, and Aemon is taunting his little cousin, or his nephew, excuse me. He's taunting his nephew. He's trying to scare him. And Erox apparently kind of gets a little shifty and ends up breathing fire on Vhagar, and Vhagar is an old war veteran. Like, she don't play. So of course, when we think Luke is in the clear after this big old chase scene and he's above the clouds and he's chilling, Vhagar comes in and eats him. But what I did not like, I know you and I talked about this, was the fact that in the books, Aemon went after Luke. He still had this beef. He went after Luke. He took out Luke. Didn't have an issue with it. On the show, they're trying to make the Greens look a little bit more appealing, and they made it seem as though their dragons lost control, and Aemon never intended for Luke to die. So I didn't really like that softening of the character. I would have respected Aemon more if he actually just went after Luke, but I'll let you add your thoughts, Jamie.
I'm going to read some comments and I will add my thoughts. Brandy says, right, they sent the teenage dragons out for the wrong assignments. Kua says, I also don't get how Aemon thinks he's been wronged. Kid almost bashed another kid's head with a rock and got knifed. Well, please don't act like you were wrong. You lost, LOL. Young Deuces says, I thought you was about to say, I got a thing for it, LOL. Brandy says Luke was only ever used to push the plot forward. They didn't care about that boy.
That's true.
Kara says the Sapphire was great. I don't like the Baratheons. Yeah. Brandy says should have sent the Ravens instead of that boy. Agreed. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the way they took creative liberties on this. I definitely thought that it was odd that they made it seem as if it was an accident and that Aemon didn't intentionally kill Luke's dragon, which inevitably ended in Luke's death. So because even the show did a great job of building up that antagonism and that, sort of that beef between these two characters from when they were young kids. So yeah, there's always been that. And the books obviously had that as the source material. So I just thought that it was going to play out the same way it was going to be in the book. And then for them to make it seem, like you said, that they're trying to soften it up and make it seem as if we want to be a little bit more empathetic towards the Greens. And they are doing that. Like even with Alicent in some respects, they're really softening up her character. Because I think there's a moment where she says something really nasty about Rhaenyra. That she prefers that she dies by childbirth. And that's in the book. But yeah, but they took that out of the show. So they're really trying to make her, I guess, a little bit more nuanced and again a little bit more empathetic for the audience. But I just didn't like this take because Aemon, let him sort of be a man of his convictions, be someone that really wants to go after Luke for what happened to him. And I just wasn't a fan of that. So, and they kind of did that too with Kristen. Like they made it look like it was an accident. And I didn't like that either, because even though there were different interpretations of how Kristen Cole killed Beesbury, I mean, there is an interpretation where he deliberately like slashes his throat with his sword. So it's like, why make it look like an accident? Just do the thing. So I don't know.
Be 10 toes down with it.
yeah, just keep it 100.
Yeah. Speaking of, Daemon, while all this was happening, Daemon was trying to tame a wild dragon by singing him a song, and I was like, I don't know about this.
that and him singing was so creepy to me. I was just like, what?
I don't know. And I mean, that's contrary to the books. Daemon didn't try to tame a dragon. He had his own dragon, and like I said, we'll get into the dragon seed later, but the scene directly after is how we end the season. Obviously, this scene is silent. We don't hear any dialogue, but obviously we see that Daemon is delivering the news to Rhaenyra that Luke is dead, and you see it on her face. They gonna pay for this with fire and blood, and that's how we end the finale of House of the Dragon.
That is how we end, and Rhaenyra is upset, which tells me that she got the news of Luke's death. So and that's really what sets everything in motion. I mean, things are already set in motion, but now she's like mad.
It's real. Because at first she was going to be, Martin Luther King about this, but now she Malcolm X.
Now she turned into Malcolm X about pre-Mecca Malcolm X. So yeah, let's get into let's look at the Targaryen dynasty. I just kind of looked up this graphic and I wanted to show it to you guys just so we could see where we are. House Targaryen. I just like looking at the family trees.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we are with the Targaryen family thus far in House of the Dragons. And this is actually going, let's see here. This is going even a little bit before House of the Dragon, just a little bit. But then we've got Viserys, we've got Rhaenyra and Aegon, which are sort of towards the middle here. And then we've got some characters towards the bottom. And then I think I've got a second graphic here. And then these Targaryens we get a little bit familiar with when we get into the Game of Thrones territory.
So it looks like it starts with Aegon and his two wives, and then we work our way to Jaehaerys, to Viserys, to spoiler warning for whoever else is going to follow after Viserys, all the way down to Aerys, which is Daenerys' father.
Yes.
Yeah, the Mad King. Yep.
Yep. So I just wanted to take a quick look at the Targaryen dynasty, since these guys, this is sort of the main crux of what this story is all about.
Yep.
So we ended our season 1 finale, and then we're going to talk about, what we think will happen in season 2.
Yep.
And some insights. And then really quick, get to some comments. Desmond Miller says, who witnessed the fight? They flew pretty far, so Aemon must have taken responsibility. Who witnessed the fight? I'm not sure what that means.
So he wants to know who witnessed the fight between Luke and Aemon. So he's like, oh, well then either somebody saw it or Aemon took responsibility for the death. Off top.
Well, yeah. Again, I just think the way they had Aemon kill Luke is it made it seem as if Aemon didn't want to do that. Yeah. Even though Aemon knew what he was doing when he was going after Luke. So it just kind of doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, so why do you look disappointed that you killed him? Like, I don't know.
They're trying to play it like he was trying to scare Luke, but it backfired, supposedly. Yeah. Well, somebody gonna pay for it. And I was gonna say our hashtag is trending. Dragons, y'all, is currently trending on Twitter. I just took a look at that.
Yeah. Let me get that graphic up really quick. Dragons, y'all. The hashtag that we use on Twitter did trend tonight. So yay for us. Dragons,
and you got the little dragon symbol at the end of it. That's cool.
I know. I don't even know how that got there. We'll
take it.
We'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it.
We're at I'm looking, we're at like 22,591 tweets. So the number keeps ticking up. So keep posting, keep tweeting. We're trending, y'all.
Keep using dragons, y'all, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so season 2 expectations. So we talked about a little bit about Dragon Seed.
Yes.
So just let's kind of shortly explain for our viewers what Dragon Seed is. Let's not assume.
All right, so our sweet summer children. Dragon Seed is a bastard of House Targaryen or House Velaryon. And at the beginning of the Dance of the Dragons, even though on this episode we saw that it was Daemon that called for more dragons, it was actually Jace in the books. He wanted more dragons, therefore they needed more people that could fly dragons, which left the Dragon Seed, because supposedly only people who have really Targaryen but will settle for old Velaryon blood can fly a dragon. And with that, there are 4 dragon seeds that ended up siding with Rhaenyra. They are Ulf the White, who rides Silverwing, Hugh Hammer, who rides Vermithor. There's also Adam Velaryon, formerly Adam Hall, who rides Silverwing, and of course my girl Nettles, who rides Sheepstealer. So I want to get into Nettles' character just a tad bit, but I also want to talk about this theory that I have for Adam Velaryon, who rides Sea Smoke. So obviously in the book, Laenor died, therefore Sea Smoke was left riderless, but we know that Laenor lives in the show. My theory is that Laenor is going to hear about all this stuff happening in Westeros and he's going to return as Adam Velaryon. I think that would be cool. It could be just my little headcanon, but I think that would be cool. Otherwise, Adam's a pretty cool character. He has a twin named Alan, so not as confusing as Eric and Arik. So looking forward to seeing that. And Adam and Alan are said to be the bastards of either Laenor Velaryon or Corlys Velaryon. So someone related to the Velaryons is going to ride Sea Smoke at some point in time on the show.
We can't leave Sea Smoke hanging. I mean, no. Sea Smoke's got to have a dragon rider. So I like that theory.
Yeah.
I think that theory is pretty.
I mean, there's a reason why they let Laenor live. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah. And then of course, Nettles is the only girl out of the 4 who is a Dragon Seed dragon rider. I'm hopeful that we see Nettles in season 2. I haven't heard any casting, but what I love about Nettles is that she actually is Black in the original source material. Now the Velaryons were race. Yes. The Velaryons were race bent for the show, but Nettles was always Black. And there's some questions about whether she was truly a dragon seed because she was Black, but I guess on the show, because the Velaryons are already Black people, there's not, that question isn't going to come into place. Nettles ended up actually getting her dragon by presenting her dragon with a freshly slaughtered sheep every morning. Her dragon loved mutton, so she ended up riding Sheepstealer. So it's either Nettles was very intelligent or Nettles was a dragon seed, one or the other. Either way, she's badass.
Love to see it. And Nettles has a bit of a relationship with Daemon Targaryen. So, we'll see how that plays out. I'm not going to talk about that any further because I don't want us to get into spoiler territory, but there's a little thing that they have in the book. So
they're close. They're close. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, Daemon gets around. So
Daemon gets around. Around. And I actually wrote a piece. I don't think it's live yet, but I do write an article about Nettles for Black Girl Nerds and kind of gets into her backstory if you're curious and if you don't mind spoilers. Otherwise, avoid my article.
So yeah, the Sting. So we'll see if Nettles shows up. I hope so. And I've seen some fan casting out there. I doubt it will be her. I highly doubt it.
Oh, Zendaya.
Yes.
She's too big for that show. She's too big. I mean, I would like to see someone.
I wouldn't say she's too big for the show. I mean, it is HBO and Euphoria is on the same network. So I don't
Yeah, but I feel like with casting with House of the Dragon, they tend to cast like newcomers or people who aren't super, super well known. So I think she's too big, but I guess big is subjective. But I don't know. I kind of want to see someone of a darker skin tone.
Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah. Nova Red Soul says, why is it taking so long between seasons? That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, it takes a year to shoot, and apparently it takes another year to do visual effects because they were still doing visual effects for this season while it was airing. So, and they don't start shooting until I think March of 2023. So yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Season 2 expectations. Will Melisandre make an appearance?
She is old.
She is old, and she is supposed to be in this time period. So people were kind of hoping that Melisandre was going to show up in this season. Also, there's rumors going around that as far as, well, first of all, the actress that plays Melisandre in Game of Thrones says that she's interested in reprising the role. That's actually been put out there. And then there's a casting rumor that Elizabeth Olsen would possibly play her.
I don't like that. Sorry.
Really? I can see. I mean, I guess the reason why is because she literally plays a witch already. Yeah. So it's like, oh, she's got red hair. She plays a witch. Why not Elizabeth Olsen? But I'm fine with it. I don't see the problem with Elizabeth playing House of the Dragon.
I don't have an issue with.
I think Elizabeth Olsen is too big to play.
I think she's too big. I'm just gonna keep thinking. I just like when you are that big, you can only you think Elizabeth Olsen or you think their character, the Scarlet Witch, and I think Carice Van Houten did a great job as Melisandre. And who's to say that she doesn't look the same 300 or 200 years before? So just let her come back. I don't know what capacity the Red Witch is needed, but sure, why not? That'd be a fun fan moment.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But I definitely would love to see her come back. So either way.
Yeah.
Also, one of the things that was missing from Game of Thrones, from House of the Dragon, was a young Daeron Targaryen. But George R.R. Martin, wow, I cannot talk. George R.R. Martin has actually addressed this in interviews as to why Daeron is missing.
So why is Daeron missing then? Where's he at?
So apparently he's in some other city. I'm trying to think of the name of the city, which now
is he in the Vale? No,
I don't know if it's the Vale. He's somewhere else. Like he's there, he's around, but he's just not with the other family members.
So they're fostering him somewhere.
They're fostering him somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's gonna show up in season 2.
Oh, he's in Old Town. So he's with the Hightowers, basically. That's where the Hightowers are from.
Yes. Old Town. That is correct. Cool, and that's a picture of Daeron Targaryen from Fire and Blood.
Nice.
So, yeah. So By the way, quick flex and also just a shout out. We actually talked to one of the writers on House of the Dragon, Charmaine DeGrate, who wrote episode 5, We Light the Way. And you can catch that interview on blackgirlnerds.com. Just want to, again, like, give her flowers, give her a huge shout out. I don't think House of the Dragon nor Game of Thrones, for that matter, has ever had a Black female writer on their shows. So I'm just amazed that she's even a part of the series. And then she's also a co-executive producer in addition to being a writer for the show. So, and We Light the Way was like by far one of the best episodes, because that sort of set the tone for that sow of discord between the Greens and the Blacks, between Alicent and Rhaenyra. You know, that conversation in the Godswood, that moment where Alicent walks in that green dress at the wedding. So it really was a game changer, episode 5 in the series. So she wrote that, and she did a great job, and she talks about that in her interview. And she says that one of her favorite characters on House of the Dragon is Daemon Targaryen. So I thought that was very interesting.
She did that.
Yeah, she did.
Well, there's another writer, Sarah Hess, that's getting a little backlash because she said that Daemon isn't boyfriend material. And I mean, as much as I'm attracted to Daemon, she's right. And I don't understand why people are making petitions to get her off the show because she said that. Yeah, it's weird.
She said that he isn't, or he is boyfriend material.
He isn't. She's like, I'm baffled by people being attracted to Daemon. You know, he's not someone that I would consider boyfriend or husband material, which, I mean, she's right. He just choked out Rhaenyra in the episode. And then I guess people were upset about supposedly she has something to do with the Rhaenys escape and, you know, the small people being killed. And I'm like, is that a reason to like get a petition to get a woman writer off of a show? Like, come on, people, get real.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Michelle definitely will check out the podcast episode. That episode she wrote was one of my faves. It's actually an article on blackgirlnerds.com. So if you go to the website, you'll see the article there of her interview. I thought that was weird. I noticed there's this very small section of the House of the Dragon fandom that is a little off kilter to me, because I do sometimes go into the bowels of Reddit. I do look at what people say, and I even saw what people were saying about the interview that I did with Charmaine, and people were upset about, because she had made a comment about Lady Rhea Royce, and how they kind of changed. They did take a little bit of creative liberties, because in the book, when she dies, she just falls off of her horse and her head is crushed. But like, well, obviously Daemon did it, so
that's implied.
Yeah, so they made it so that you know that Daemon was the one that was responsible for it. And she's like, you know, the fabric of the story isn't really changed by that. But this person was really upset that, you know, Daemon was sort of pinned as the villain. And I'm like, but Daemon really did do it. Like, why are you guys getting upset about that? So there is this really weird fandom of folks that are like Daemon stans, and it's kind of disturbing, because he's not a good guy. Like, you know, it's kind of the people that are stans of Jeffrey Dahmer after the Monster series, because Evan Peters played him, and they're like, oh, he's just misunderstood. It's like, no.
Or like Joe, I don't know. I mean, Daemon to me is like a chaotic neutral. So like, I wouldn't describe him as pure evil, but I wouldn't describe him as pure good. He's just, I mean, Matt Smith said it perfectly. He's an agent of chaos. So whatever for him is what works for him. But he would be good for a couple nights. But yeah, Daemon ain't someone you want to settle down with. He's not. You know, he got too much of that fire in him. So yeah, I don't quite understand the backlash by people saying that Damon's toxic. He is. Like, if you're attracted to him, that's fine. We all have a little toxicity in us. So
yeah, but his is like on a whole different level.
Yeah, true.
Whole different level. And like you said, like that moment where he choked out Rhaenyra, like he doesn't seem like he has a filter, and he seems like he doesn't have any kind of control over his emotions, and that he's a loose cannon. So is that the kind of guy that you want in your life? So yeah, I don't know why people are coming after Sarah Hess for that. That just seems weird to me.
Yeah, but. And she signed another deal with HBO, so she will be back for season 2. So deal with it, people.
Yeah, she actually, I saw her name on the credits. She wrote this episode tonight, the finale.
Okay.
People gonna be mad again because
I said, what they gonna be mad about now?
They're gonna be mad about the way Luke went out with Aemon. You know.
Oh, Luke. R.I.P.
I will criticize that. I did not like the way that went down, but
that's true. But
that's my personal opinion on that. So any last thoughts before we wrap up tonight's podcast?
I mean, I just want to know, what team are you on? Are you team green or are you team black?
Ooh, team green or team black. You know, it's so interesting. When we did episode 1 of the Dragons Y'all recap podcast, we were like, so what house do you claim? Mm-hmm. And your house Velaryon, Ryan is House Targaryen, and I just went with the Hightowers.
Hightowers.
I think that's just because that was what was left. But because I really do not like the Hightowers. I don't like Otto. I really don't like Alicent. But I am definitely Team Black. I am Team Black. I mean, I've said it from the beginning that I really feel like Otto and Alicent just have these really these ulterior motives that are self-serving, and Otto has been from day one. It's all about his personal beef with Daemon, and I think that Alicent is jealous of Rhaenyra. She's upset that Rhaenyra doesn't play by the rules, and that, you know, she's able to do things that I guess for whatever reason that Alicent herself can't do. And, you know, maybe a lot of it has to do with her faith and her beliefs and all of that. But it's like, you know, you got to deal with it. Don't project that onto somebody else. So I just don't like the way they handle things politically. So for that reason, I am Team Black.
Yeah. I did at one point have a soft spot for Alicent. I was always Team Black, but I kind of felt bad for her and I sympathized with her. But the move that she made by placing Aegon on the throne, I don't agree with. We all know Rhaenyra is a true heir. Viserys said so. Don't understand. Even Aegon said, my father would never have wanted me on the throne. If he wanted me on the throne, he would have done it 20 years ago. So, you know, the fact that Alicent convinced herself that Viserys thought that Aegon should be king over Rhaenyra, who he for 20 years said is the true heir. Alicent, I'm not down with that. And of course, Otto locking everybody in and executing everybody that was against them and all of the stuff that he did. I'm like, F the Hightowers. I'm 100% Team Black. And now that Corlys and Rhaenys are on board and Rhaena and Baelor are on board, I'm Team Black with the true heir. Or queen now.
All right. Let's see what everybody in the comments have to say. Are you guys Team Green or Team Black? Kara says Team Black. All right.
There we go.
Nova says Team Black. All right. Michelle, yep. Team Black.
Team Black.
And
Team Black.
Black. So we vote for
green. We vote for everybody black.
Vote for everybody black. Akira says Team Black. Yeah. I mean, they've And like at the end of the day though, like nobody is innocent. Nobody is has taken the moral high ground in this story. Everybody has dirty hands in this war, but yeah,
they're dirtier. The Greens are dirtier.
The Greens are dirtier. And as much as HBO tries to soften them up, as you mentioned, like they still bad. They're still terrible. Yeah. So, well, great. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This was a very lively show. It was fun doing this, actually live streaming. We usually record these episodes and then put them out for you guys later. So we'll look into seeing how we'll keep this thing going while the show is on hiatus as we wait for season 2, because there's still discussions to be had. There's still conversations to be discussed around Fire and Blood. This is a very rich, dense story, and there's a lot to talk about. And I look forward to reading your Nettles article on blackgirlnerds.com, because she's a character that's very fascinating to me. So
that's my girl.
Yeah, indeed. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Please, again, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Twitch. It's a little bare bones right now, but trust me, there's going to be content that's going to be coming out in the coming weeks. I'm not going to say days, but in the coming weeks. And there's going to be a lot of fun stuff down the pipeline. I promise you. Until then, we will see you soon.
All right. Dragons, y'all. R.I.P. Luke.
R.I.P. Luke. Aww.
I gotta drink a Negroni in his honor.
I saw that on your Facebook.
I love it with the what you say, Espugnano. I cannot say it right, with prosecco in it. Yes.
What was that? That was Emma D'Arcy that said she likes.
Yes. Emma loves a D'Arcy with some prosecco in it. So I was like, "Oh, try that." Stunning, as Olivia Cook said. So pour out Negroni in Luke's honor. R.I.P. to the young, strong boy.
Yes. We've gotta look out for the rest of our family members and pray to the old gods and the new. The rest of them. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.